Welcome Year 11 parents and carers. In this very short video, I'm going to outline the Year 11 mock examinations, providing you with knowledge and information on the mocks that will be taking place on Monday the 7th to Friday the 18th of November. I'll also be providing some revision tips and guidance, and then very finally some 4 top tips for parents to help support their child throughout this time. Firstly, students were provided with all of the instructions and all of the information that they need to know in assembly on the 3rd of October. The instructions are displayed on the screen, but they are also contained within a very helpful booklet that the students received at the start of this assembly. Within the booklet contains the Year 11 2-week mock examination timetable. As you can see on the screen there, the mock examinations are clearly identified along with the start times. We did impress upon all the students the requirement for them to be in the right place at the right time and the importance of that. As you can see, the vast majority exams last for 7 days. However, for the final 3 days, only students who are taking music and art will be required for an examination on those days. All other students will be returning to their normal timetabled lessons from Wednesday the 16th of November. A significant period of time has been spent informing the students on the need to be prepared and the importance of these mock examinations for them to be able to build confidence, to practice for the real thing, to identify the knowledge and the skill gaps that they currently have. I spent some time talking the students through the iceberg profile that you see on the screen, just making sure that they understand that importance of the hard work and the commitment that needs to go in to making sure that these exams are, of course, a success. To help students further, all of the topics that will be examined and covered have been identified and have been shared in the booklet, as you can see on the screen. In addition to this, the booklet contains all of the hyperlinks for all of the examination boards. An electronic copy of that booklet has been sent out along with this presentation. Arguably and most importantly, the revision timetable for students to make bespoke to them is contained within the rear of the booklet. Students during their form times have been advised on how to best complete this timetable, and it's absolutely important that students implement this timetable. In addition to this, there are a few notes for how to make knowledge stick contained within the booklet. However, I'm going to spend a moment now to take you through my top 7 revision techniques. Firstly is question cards. So these can be purchased through CGP or they can be produced and created by the student themselves. On one side, they contain questions, and on the other side they contain answers. This is very useful for students who like to work collaboratively, be it with their siblings at home, their friends on the bus, or perhaps yourselves as well. Secondly, are the workbooks and question booklets. Again, if you are considering purchasing CGP resources, please can you make sure that you purchase the exam board specific ones. For example, the image that is on the screen is specifically for AQA English language. The good thing about these booklets is that they do contain questions and command words that are very, very similar to the real thing. In addition to this, in the rear of the booklet, they do contain the answers as well. Students are always encouraged to use these answers as model responses and for them to practice responding in such a way in the mock examinations. The third technique that I will share with you, it was a personal favourite of mine and could well be a favourite of your child's if they spend a long time travelling to and from school. This is where the student would create their own questions using the voice note / memo function on their mobile phone. They will use the They will use this function to ask themselves a question that perhaps they've got from the CGP booklet or a past examination paper, or just simply one that they've made up. Have a short pause and then say the answer. When they're travelling to and from school, they can then listen to their question, try and say the response in their head or out loud before then listening to that answer. Teaching someone is also a very, very effective method of trying to encode learning into the long-term memory. As you'll see from the image in front, the duration of the working memory, so when students are just simply reading information, is very, very short-lived, only between 5 to 15 seconds. However, if effective rehearsal can be undertaken, and an elaborative form of this could well be actually talking somebody through the knowledge and the skills that are being acquired and how to best acquire them. It can then help encode this into the long-term memory. The benefit here is that the capacity of the long-term memory is infinite and its duration is permanent. And this can be retrieved when the student is under stress and is required to answer an examination question. Next up are past paper questions. So past paper questions are arguably the most effective form of revision, and I encourage all students to visit the examination pages of their subjects to be able to download all of the past examination papers that are available to them. Here, the students become familiar with the instructions and the information contained, as you can see on the right hand side of this geography example. Also contained within are the command words that the examination uses, whereby the students can become specifically familiar with the way that the questions are worded and how many marks that they are each worth. Next up is mind maps. This is particularly important for those visual learners, and contained within this presentation is a video that's only 2.5 minutes that talks you through how to produce an effective mind map. Please note that on the screen that I'm displaying now, the mind map is very colourful, it uses very few words, and it also uses images as well. And finally is that of the Seneca website. We encourage all students to go onto Seneca to be able to firstly see knowledge and content of the curriculum that's covered, secondly to use the questions that are posed and to practice their responses, and then finally they can view the answers and those model responses that Seneca advises. Here are the links for students to be able to access 4 different resources that I've mentioned in the presentation. And very finally, here are some parental advice. Please provide your child with a quiet space for them to work, away from distractions. Please also provide a space whereby your child can display their revision timetable for that week and also key visible resources. Next, please monitor the implementation of the revision timetable. As noted earlier, significant time will go in to supporting students in producing this timetable, and it's really important that they implement it so they can get their most effective revision completed. And then very finally, please be sure to continuously encourage your child throughout the course of the mock examinations. Very finally from me, I hope you found this very short video informative and useful, and I would like to wish all the students the very best of luck and just reiterate that point of the need for them to be prepared. Thank you all.